Can start recording, and we are good to go.
Hey everybody, this is Newman here, and you are watching us live at Nail the Sale podcast, where we discuss all and everything about sales and how you can get more clients, make more money, and change more lives. I have Nick Graz with me, one of the best I know for him for more than a year now. He's been around and crushing it online as well. I would like to ask Nick if you can tell us about a little about yourself, who you are, and if you can introduce yourself a little bit.
Thank you, man. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast and on your live video. It's true. We know each other for quite a lot right now, right? And we was always chitty chatting, but never had a chance really to speak like this on the
Yeah.
live camera. Uh, well, I will just try in short lines to say that who am I? Well, the first place, definitely a father and a husband, because for me, family it's always on the first place. After that, a
Absolutely.
brother, and after that comes something what I would say like a sales coach. This is something what I'm doing at the moment, but it wasn't always like that. I was having quite a long journey until I came to the point of only coaching sales. I was before that doing coaching of affiliate marketing, before that entrepreneur in my own business, which I'm still having in, and yeah, like a lot of things in the same time.
Oh, that's amazing. Where are you based at? How your childhood was, and how your life was?
Well, not so many people know about that, and thank you for asking me this because I'm also not trying to talk so much
Hmm.
about things which are not related to what I'm doing, what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
But this is a great opportunity to say something about that. I grew up in Serbia,
Okay.
and for most of the people, it's not known place because it's a very small country of close to between 7 and 8 million of people, and it's based in the east part of Europe on the Balkan. And I grew up
Yeah.
in a small town of 30,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Literally literally grow up on a farm.
Okay.
So everything connected with my childhood is family life with my mother and father, with my younger brother, and all the activities and fun you can have on the farm. But
Yeah.
actually, everything everything started from this point. Like, believe it or not, my first sales was somewhere between maybe 7 or 8 years old when I made my first sale. It was literally in cents, not even a dollar. It was
Okay.
like maybe if we convert it today, maybe it was $6 cents.
Yeah.
And this was a piece of flour because we
Of
had on a
course. I
farm a
still remember my
huge
first sale.
yeah, we had on a farm a huge part of flowers, spring flowers, gladiolus, roses, tulips, and all these stuffs. And
Amazing.
my mother used to sell them on the open market. Besides all the
Wow.
products we used to sell from the farm, like animals and vegetables and fruits and animal products.
Okay.
And my first sale ever was, I still remember it. I had a bucket of water and inside probably 20, 30 gladiolus. And I was the only child staying in front of the open market where people were coming to buy any kind of goods when it comes to food and life necessities, uh, between all of that, as well as flowers. And I remember I was a small child who was staying over there. Some guy came to me and he said, like, "Hey, kid, how much are the flowers?" And I said to him, $6. This is equivalent to
Yeah,
five,
six,
six
six,
dollar
six
cents.
dinars, right? Yeah. Serbia is
Yeah.
do you
And
guys used to speak Arabic over there or what? In Serbia?
no, we speak Serbian. No, we speak Serbian
Serbian.
language, but
Yeah.
dinar, it's
Okay.
our currency. Yeah.
Dinar is
And I
the
remember
currency,
back
yeah.
that time. Yeah. And I remember back that time I said $6, and he said, "Cool, give me one." I can't explain you how happy I was. This was my first sale ever done.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, after that, like I was doing a lot of sales in my childhood because I grew up on a farm. So I was daily facing, meeting with people, talking to people, sometimes even negotiations, because uh, maybe for nowadays when we say something about that, somebody will say, "Hey, this is child abuse." But
Yeah,
I
of
must say to
course.
you that I'm extremely, extremely thankful and grateful to my parents letting me to feel that, to feel how is to sell something to someone, how is to work on the farm, how is to do the farm staff job. And I must tell you that this what I learned in a childhood, I back that time probably didn't appreciate it, even didn't realize how important this is. Later on, I could reflect it during the business days almost every second, third day. I
Yeah.
can recall some memory and said, but I have experience in this. I did that before. So this was kind of a fundaments. And after that, after those type of sales, I was selling my computer services as a child of 12, 13, 14, reinstallation of Windows, Linux systems, not long after Vista, right?
Yeah.
And so on, like doing computer services. And somehow by the time change, I exited childhood, moved from my hometown, but those were some first steps.
That's amazing. And you actually have a similar story with mine because I was like 14 years old when I started selling. And how I started selling is there was no food in the house. My father was sick at that time. He had like a severe fever, and my mom was just looking at us. And I was a kid actually. I went outside. Somebody, you know, a guy was actually looking for people who can go with him on a wedding as a waiter, right? And I sold my services to him. I told him like I want to do that. I want to go with you, and he was like, "You're a kid. We cannot take you with us." And I was like, I convinced him, right? I communicate with him. I convinced him, and I made him take me with them, and I literally make some sense, you would say, if we convert it into rupees to dollars. So I literally make some sense. But from that day and after that, many other sales happen. I worked in retail, then I worked in call centers, then worked in many remote sales as well. My question, like your transition from selling from the farm, like those beautiful memories, and then selling from your computer services, right? Installing the Windows and stuff like that. What made you come into the real world of sales, where you make your living out of it?
Thank you for this question because it was a long journey. Yes, I started as a kid selling farm stuffs. At the very beginning, as I said, it was the flowers, and almost every year I was selling something on a farm, like farm products, vegetables, and so on. I remember even back that time, something what I recalled in nowadays business was where to find ideal client.
Yeah,
And then one of the cool stories was that I grew up in a small town. Don't forget, it's 30, 40,000 people.
30, forty
We don't
thousand
have so
people.
many places. We have several streets, two traffic lights in the city. Even today, two traffic lights in whole city. And I was thinking back that time as a child, like literally together with my mom, where to position myself so that I can sell vegetables. And then she said to me, one of a good place where you can position yourself to sell vegetables is a hospital. And I was thinking back that time how to do it in the hospital. Then we improvised together with my mom. We used the cart where we put all the vegetables, stay in front of the hospital, put a small scale and a bunch of plastic bags. And then how people come, we have the plastic bags so they can take and go. We have the scale where they can scale the fruits or vegetables, whatever they need. And this was the first place where we realized a big traffic of people coming and going every day. So I used to stay from morning until late afternoon and selling there, sometimes with my mother, sometimes completely alone. And I'm telling you, this is the first fracture which I later on converted in my business, like where to look for ideal client. How transition goes, I start doing those services with a computer, like fixing some small problems and issues to the computer stuffs. And there was everything done by recommendations. I fixed to somebody, somebody recommend me to somebody else, and I was going and going and going. And I realized somewhere with my, let's say 15, when I was almost finishing primary school, that I want back that time to have good education. I was a very good student, almost a student of generation in my hometown, and later on in all the way until university, in secondary school as well. And I decided that I want to study something for electronics. Back that time, software engineer was the something what everybody heard about.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows what is it exactly. Nobody
Absolutely.
knows how cool it is. Uh, and to come to that university, you needed secondary school, which is connected with electronics. So my parents, being both of them workers, my father worked abroad, and he was a construction worker, architect, and my mother was always working on a farm and producing for all of us food and all other products on the farm. Uh, they thought that if I start studying electronics, I can transition later on in business. Guess what happened? I started doing that, and I realized after 4 years of secondary school that I will go at university. But at university happened the biggest thing where I got a little bit disappointed. I realized that to pay, I was studying in different city, not in my hometown, and to
Mm,
pay apartment rent, to pay food, to pay all life plus university, it's a branch of money. It's more
absolutely.
than average salary in Serbia back that time.
Yeah.
My father was supporting this all the time. 2012, first time ever, I visited Austria, where my father worked. Different
Okay.
country.
Yeah,
The
Austria.
difference between the difference between Serbia and Austria is we talk about 4 times or 5 times in the salary range.
Yeah.
Austria is a high paid country,
Yeah.
and it's a it's a country of very solid workers, of very solid lifestyle.
Yeah, it's advanced.
Man,
Yeah.
my first feeling when my father told me, would you like to help me something, and I will pay you like I'm paying people here, $8 an hour. Man, back in Serbia at that time, you can make $10 for entire day of
Oh,
working.
wow.
$8 an hour was sound to me like I to
It means the
study.
world to you. Yeah.
Forget about it. Like
Yeah, you
I'm
were a
not
baller
going.
at that time.
Nah, I'm not going back to university, man.
Yeah,
My
yeah, yeah.
parents were against this, extremely against. They were saying, no, you're not for physical job. You're to go to study. My mind was already reset. I was thinking, wait a moment, man, explain me one thing. I talked to my father. Why person of age like me in 2012 I was having 21. And I said to my father, why somebody who is 21 can have such a good life with $1,000 or more a month, and I need to study for having half less.
Yeah.
My father told me it's not about this. You don't understand how this job is hard. You don't understand how many efforts you need every day to do this. But in my mind was only money. And that was the first moment when I started think, what can I do to I transition myself and to make more money? I wasn't anymore interested for studies. I lost all interest to study. The only thing I never lost, it was the thing to I read the books. Everything else, man, like when it comes to studying, come on, like not for me. Sorry. And then I realized, okay, I need to find the option. 2016, unfortunately, I lost my father. It was sudden. Nobody
Sorry.
expected.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. He wasn't sick of anything. He was very young, 63 years old,
Mhm.
and it was a shock.
Yeah.
We faced a problem where we don't know what we will do. He was the
Yeah.
only person who was providing money. My
Yeah.
mom was providing on the farm some money and some food, but not even close to cover
Yeah,
up
of
the bills
course
and
not.
necessities.
Yeah.
Back that time, the only option was to go to China. I went to
Okay.
China 2016, not knowing anything, even not knowing what
Mm.
will I work. My friends helped me to I start doing English teaching. Man,
Okay.
imagine this. I'm not native English speaker.
Yeah.
I'm not teacher by profession. I
Yeah,
never
you're
in my
not.
life did that job. And like, what can I do? The only thing I can do is to learn how to do it. It lasted for about 3 years. I was doing it later on, I can say with pleasure. I fall in love with this. But this taught me one thing. You're not falling in love with what you're passionate about. You develop passion after you realize the results. That's what I'm reflecting to my students today. And I'm saying to them always, you don't have to work something what you're passionate about. You have to work something what you're good at, great at. When you see the results, the passion will come for that. Because think about next. I'm passionate about tennis. I'm terrible player. Imagine me with 100 kilos to play tennis. Man, like that's a funny, right? But I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate
Okay.
about music. Can I
Okay.
sing? Of course not. So I realized back in China that I have to start to break the circle. I work for salary, it's a good money, but something I need to try to do. And that was the moment of transition. I met people who back that time imported a wine from Serbia to China, Chinese people, and selling it in China for 5 times bigger price.
Yeah.
When I met them by accident, by situation, realizing that they speak Serbian, that they spent 18 years back that time in Serbia, and that they sell wine, I
Mm.
felt maybe I can help them something.
Okay.
And this is my first transition into serious money. I
Hmm.
started from selling wine to my countrymates,
Okay.
reselling. So I
Okay.
take from those people box of wine, I resell it, earn commission. And after a couple of months, I realized that I can just doing this, I can make entire salary back that time in China with
Hmm.
my side income. I said, okay, this is going to be serious. I have seriously to look at this business. Later on, everything is kind of a history from now this point. I open one company in China, I open another one. I'm still having them. I'm still working with
Okay.
them, but not even close like before. I was importing food and beverages from
Okay.
Europe, especially from my country because I knew the best that food, and
Yeah.
selling it as a high item products, as a high valued products in China. And this was the first serious money, the first serious business, the first business where I had employees for me, warehouse staffs, and everything else. And this
Amazing.
is how I transitioned from childhood to some real business, and later
Real
on
kind of
more
cash.
transition were
Yeah. But
yeah, yeah, definitely.
that's really amazing. Like your story will actually relate with a lot of people, and if not, they will get inspiration for sure. I am seeing you from last 1 year, and I saw you even growing in the coaching business as well as a sales coach. I remember in the beginning you were doing some affiliate marketing and stuff like that, but you actually made some money online just on Facebook by selling your mentorship, right? So tell me
Yeah,
a
that's
little
right.
bit like how you were able to build those relationships when you were not meeting them face to face. It's all online, right? Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a tricky part, right? And first of all, I must say to you and to everybody who listens, I never believed somebody can make money selling something on social network.
Okay.
Even though I did that somehow before. Here is the thing. In China, as I told you, I start selling food and beverages online.
Okay.
The key point is that I was advertising them on the most
Okay.
stupidest way. For example, this is a marker pen. I'm selling it today for $2. Anybody wants to buy? This is how I sold food back that time. And
Okay.
drinks. Selling this on the social media, I proved already to myself that it's possible to sell social media. WeChat
Okay.
is the biggest Chinese platform. You have over 1 billion users, and I
Yeah,
was making
WeChat, I know
significant
that.
amount of money. Yeah, I was making up to the record was around 200,000 in sales in 2021. And I proved myself that social media works.
Yeah.
But my mind back that time was telling me this is only possible in China because everybody else is doing it in China. Why? I never knew someone who was doing it on other platforms and with digital stuffs.
Yeah, of course, because
Then,
you were in
uh,
China, right? They don't use the Facebook and they don't use these
exactly,
platforms. Yeah.
it's a social bubble. You
Yeah.
fall in love with the money you're getting, whatever you're working or business you have. You're spending all this per month, you're earning, you're spending, and you start thinking that you're living in the best place in the world. That's actually from now perspective not like that, okay? But again, I'm very grateful and thankful to China. I learned a lot. I met amazing people. I had amazing experience, especially in work and business. But when I came first time, 2022, to sell affiliate products, my first ever affiliate offer, which I purchased, was actually not $7. $7 was end of that course. It was four or something ups. What is upsell? How people call it? Nothing about that. And I started learning after that two more or three more high ticket products, learning from other people and so on. And I realized I made my first sale in about 4 weeks after I started working. But I realized that if I speak to people, it's the only way to make sale. If I just publish something like I was doing before in China, if I just publish, hey guys, I'm selling ABC product for X amount of dollars, would anybody buy? Nobody would buy. People would buy when they get to know you and when you get to understand is there actually a need to make that sale and the way how do you offer that product, service, whatever you're selling. The first four sales of $7 I made after 4 weeks, realizing that it's all leading to conversation. The sale is happening in
Yeah.
DM.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then I heard about you can make sale on story. I was like, wow, cool, interesting. I'm interested to hear about that. I spoke to two people back that time. I learned how to do it. And then I decided to make a first workshop. My first workshop was together with another marketer because I was scared that I will not have enough audience. What happened is that on first workshop I had 12 people. It was paid workshop.
Okay.
And I realized I can sell this. I realized I can give to people some value. I can teach them something what I know, what they don't know. And after that, going on, I was always selling, but I must say that sale is happening in 99% of time when you speak to people. There is no other way.
Absolutely. There is no other way around. When you actually talk to people and you provide them the value and you cover that gap that they are
Yes,
you know you want that moment when they feel like, oh shit, I need this solution. You need that moment every time when you're trying to
absolutely.
sell.
Absolutely. Now, when I'm already deep into it and when I'm doing sales coaching, I'm trying not only to find a gap, I'm trying to create that gap for clients
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
now I'm now I'm doing sophisticated sales methods where I'm trying sincerely not I to speak about product or service or anything. I just ask questions. Maybe on the sales
Absolutely.
call right now, I'm speaking 10% of the time, 15. But what I want is to my client, my prospect, himself or herself say one more time that they have a problem, do they admit the problem, do they see it from different angles how big problem is, and do they need to solve it right now? Do they create urgency in themselves? But yes, as you said, speaking to people is extremely important, but speaking to right type of people. We are coming
Ex-
back to the story like to whom to speak. Yes,
Yeah.
the way how you speak is extremely important, but also to whom you speak, because everybody who is listening to us right now and maybe don't know this, maybe just starting to do some business and so on. Number one step, it's definitely to you understand to whom you're speaking. Who is your ideal client? To define your ideal client, to know where to look for them and how to make those sales. But
That
actually, yes, conversation.
Yeah, this is actually I would say it's all about conversations. People, a lot of other coaches says that it's not a numbers game and it's a skills game, and I agree to that at some point. But at the same time, there is a but in between that as well, right? If you are not talking to enough people to understand who the right people are, right? And once you have the right people and you are asking them the right questions and qualifying them, and now you are at a stage where you can actually make them understand what their problems are, and they can even when they're telling the problem to you, they're telling the problem to themselves as well, right? They're telling their own mind as well, like this is the problem I'm facing, and that can only happen with the right type of questions by asking to the right people. But of course, for that we need some volume, and it will come with practice. There is no other way around. And the second way is you can learn from somebody who already did it, right? Even if you are learning from a coach who already did it, still there is practice required. There is no magic
Absolutely.
pill. Yeah, there is no magic pill for that at all.
Absolutely. Well, I'll take a little bit of time to tell you my view on that. When it comes to sales like a sales, we speak right about sales. I definitely don't treat them as a number game. But
I understand that.
you have
That's why I raised
you
this
have to
point.
have yes, you have to have audience to whom you speak. Speaking to yourself, you will never make a sale. Speaking to 5 people, you will most likely never make a sale.
Absolutely.
Because you have to start attracting audience. There are multiple ways how can you do it.
Yeah.
Is this through content? Is this that you add them on the social media? Is that they add you on social media? Is this that you're joining podcasts or any medium or live streams or whatever? There are so many ways how can you get your ideal client to have closer to you. But as closer your ideal client is to you, as much of your content consumes, whatever form of
Absolutely.
content is, audio, video, text, whatever, DM messaging, you're making your prospect more interested in you, in what you're doing. There is no
True.
doubt, and I'm sure that both of us agree to that.
We do.
When it comes to number game, oh yeah, it is a number game when you're growing your brand, when you're growing your
Absolutely.
social media.
At the beginner
Because come
stage,
on,
yes.
let's speak very honestly. If you're having 100 people in the group on Facebook and you're selling in that group, and somebody has thousands of people, who's going to make more sales? Of course. In that case, yes, it is a number games. But as a sales itself, no, they are not, because I don't like this method of just throwing bodies and selling
Yeah.
just for the sake of sales.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
one thing which you said, qualifying people, I did that before. Now I let them qualify me. Now I'm doing completely different way of sales. Now I know, because I'm now working mostly with coaches and consultants in online space. Now I
Absolutely.
know that they're qualified because they are my ideal client, right? I let them choose me, qualify me, because
How do you mean by that?
I'm trying to offer different angle of sales. And I will explain you my vision to this. We are all way and time behind the biggest epidemic in the world. We
Yeah.
all know that 2020 was the most uncertainty in the world.
Yeah.
Vice versa, money loves certainty. Money goes to person or to place or to offer which is the most certain.
Yes. True.
Back in that time, why did I make the most sales in China in 2021? Because people were buying like crazy, being
Yeah.
scared that they will not have enough food in supermarkets. Let's be very honest, not because of my skill, Not because I'm super guru, because the demand of the marketplace were driven by uncertainty. The same
True.
is in digital world business. If we look, for example, in 2 Club rewards, the most of them happen in shortest period after that biggest catastrophe in the world. Why? Because
Mm.
people were, there is no person in the world who didn't have a thought, even for a second, I have to work something online. I have to have online business. I have to
True.
have some stream of income from online world. And in that time, no matter how skilled you are, market was ready to buy.
Yeah,
If
that's
you
true.
had any offer, if you had any offer which is even slight promise, hey man, you can make money from this, everybody would easier say yes than nowadays. Nowadays, when we are far behind that time, our prospect can smell sale and
Yeah,
pitch
true.
or even potential pitch miles away.
True.
And our prospect is way more careful now. Careful,
Yeah,
what
they,
do you
they, they
offer?
know you are trying to sell them, and they know the
Exactly.
pitch is coming, or whatever. I
Exactly.
mean, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm not trying anymore to do any kind of hard closing sales tactics, which I was doing before. I'm trying to do everything based on tonality, emotion, and creating a gap in the prospect. So that's why I call my method empathy probe questioning. Because all what I'm trying is to disarm the prospect
Yes.
with their idea I have to spend money. Here is example. I'll very quickly tell you that. To all of us happen, we have a full pocket of money. We are ready to buy sneakers. We go in the sneakers shop, we entry, we see sneakers on the shelf. The worker come to us and say, hey, may I help you? What we say? Sorry, no,
No, I'm just
I'm
looking.
just looking.
Yeah.
I'm just looking. But wait a moment. You have money in the pocket. You're ready to buy. You go with idea to buy, and you're just looking.
The
So what's
resistance.
missing? Exactly. So we have naturally in us, in humans, our brain works like this to protect us of hunger,
Absolutely.
of sleep, of no sleep enough, of whatever. So we
Yeah.
naturally rise this protection mechanism and we naturally feel ourselves, I don't want to spend money. And
Yeah.
here is why it's like that. I was going deep into the psychology to understand why actually we humans are doing that. We value time, and we everybody say time is something we can't buy. But we do not attach us to time like we attach us to money. If your friend tell you right now, hey Newman, can you help me 2 hours take care of my baby while I'm going to work? You say, 2 hours. Sure, Matt, no problem. I'm there. And you don't care about your 2 hours because it's just 2 hours. Let's say you charge $100 per hour. Same friend call you and say, hey Newman, I need $200. It's the same thing. You charge $100 per hour. You help
That's
him
true.
with 2 hours, no problem. If he call you and you say $200, really? Well, I'm not sure. Can I do that? Because you and me and everybody else, we attach our social status to money. Less
Absolutely.
money equals we feel ourselves. I'm less worthy. I'm poor.
Yeah,
And that's
true.
the key point where I'm turning all my sales coaching right now to turning all to emotions, because I
Amazing.
believe that humans truly buy through emotions and then later on justify with action. Because if you ask my wife, hey, why did you buy these shoes? She has 50 pairs of shoes. She will tell you, but they was on discount.
Yeah.
She did with emotion, but
Yeah.
she's trying to justify with logic. And
Justify
everybody
with the
else is like
logic. There
this.
was a discount going on, so I just bought them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And thank
sure.
you,
You you,
thank
you
you very
save me
much
money,
for.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Nick, you hardly shared everything, and I'm sure it will be amazing for the audience who are watching it right now, or will watch it once it's there. Lastly, do you have any advice for the coaches, consultants who are trying to sell online, right? But of course, they are good at what they are coaching about, but they don't know how to sell. What are your advice to them?
Well, first of all, I'm having advice to everybody who is sitting on the fence to to stand up and do it right now. Nobody's going to save us. Nobody's going to do it instead of you. And I strongly believe in God. And I believe that if you have some thought in God, God given, I want to do this, go and do it. Thought
True.
itself, it's not a power, it's potential power. When you put implementation of this thought, you're getting potential power which can worth with money. Why I'm saying potential? Because you cannot do all alone. And the most
Yes,
successful people in the world are successful because they rely on people who know better. I'm
that's
not
true.
leading my business. I'm not leading my business alone. On
Absolutely.
LinkedIn, if you message me on LinkedIn, I'm not there. If you message me on Twitter, on X, I'm not there. If you message me on email back from the email marketing, I'm not there. I'm having people who work on these platforms. I'm on Facebook.
Absolutely.
So my advice to everybody is that as soon as you understand that learning from somebody, you will get faster result. As soon you do that, you will understand so many things. I will just quickly explain. Getting a coach is you getting somebody else's experience without having to experience somebody else's scars.
That's
You,
fast track.
me, you and me, we made so many mistakes. Will
True.
we now let our prospect or our client make the same mistakes? No. We will tell
No,
them how to shorten this road, how to
absolutely.
make it shorter. And this for sure is going to save them time. On the other side, whatever, when it comes to sales, whatever book, except maybe Jeremy Miner, New Model of Selling,
Mhm.
whatever book you take from sales and learn, is it a good book? Yes, it's a good book. But remember next, it's written 10, 20, 30 years ago. This book is already not absolutely and 100% oriented to new model of buyer. Not even close to that. Even if it's 5 years old, it's already a little bit outdated. That's the first thing. Learning from free stuffs. Come on, guys. Like, then how will coaches or everybody else sustain feeding their family and paying their bills if everything would be for free?
Absolutely. They are
And
investing a lot of thousands of dollars
exactly,
like they own themselves on their self-development and their skill levels and in their business, and they are making money too. I mean, of course, freebies are just to
absolutely.
attract you guys so you can actually join them. It's not for
And
it's not actually for free. We call them
yeah,
freebies, but it's not for free.
and one more thing, which is for the end, is don't think it's expensive. Expensive, it's not knowing this. And this, what you're getting, is actually cheap because you can implement it thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of times, and that many times multiplied. Because if something is free, you treat it as a free. If something is painful to pay, you treat it like that. You treat it with more value. And then you, as a client, as a customer, will be more determined to succeed with this. And you will go all in to learn, to implement, to tweak, to adjust, to execute this, and to make the results. Because if it's not painful to you pay to get it, then you will always have this kind of like treatment towards this. It's okay. And then you will treat probably sales like a number games. Okay, I burned that sale. I'll come next time to next prospect. Don't do that. Learn from people who are the best in this, who already did it, and how to choose those people, but choose them by your heart. Because whenever I listen to my heart, I never made mistake. Whenever I listen to somebody else, 50-50. So feel yourself, whom you follow already, whom you know, whose method fits you, whose character fits you, and that's it. But yeah, definitely. Without coach, hard to be made. I
And
was also paying coaches. I was working with so many coaches. You also, so that's the
absolutely,
proven
yeah.
way.
That's actually a proven way, and that's actually fast track our success for sure. We made a lot of money just because of this, because we invested and learned so fast. I got my first client in first month. after investing. And before that, I was just pushing my head against the wall, and I was trying every other way. But the thing is, I would say, first of all, you should know how strong your why is, why you are actually doing that, and if you really want to do it or not. And if you, again, if you're passionate and good about it, I will do the say the combination of both. If you're good at it,
Yep.
and if you have passion about it, for sure. And one last thing is like, if they're brand new, they need to work hard on it and make a lot of volume to understand what they're actually trying to do. Now, once they know what exactly they are doing, and at this point, it's all about their skills game, because what's going to happen is they will practice and their skill level will go up as well. Now, at this point, when
Yes.
they practice, their practice and skill levels are at the same time, like matching. Now it's a skills game, right? Now they're just talking to
Absolutely.
the right people, they're just showing their skills, and they're making tons of money, changing a lot of lives, impact, and and actually making their own life better as well. So with that, I would say, Nick,
Absolutely.
thank you very much for hopping on the show, and I'm 100% positive you provided tens of thousands times more value than anybody else can, and I'm thankful to you. Guys, me, Nick, we both have our own sales coaching programs. You guys can check Nick Facebook. He's mostly active over there, and you can actually hit him up, and he or somebody from his team will reach you out. Or same with me. You can reach out to me or somebody from my team will talk to you. And you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you